Have you ever wondered why certain things just feel familiar to you, even though you've never experienced them before? Why do some people instantly feel like home, while others create an unexplainable unease? What if the month you were born holds the key to understanding not just who you are today, but who you were in countless lifetimes before this one? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of past life regression and soul memory, exploring how renowned psychiatrist Dr. Brian Weiss discovered that our birth month can actually reveal profound insights about our previous incarnations. This isn't just about astrology or personality traits. This is about understanding the eternal journey of your soul and why you chose to come into this world at that specific time. Dr. Brian Weiss, a graduate of Columbia University and Yale Medical School, was once a traditional psychiatrist who didn't believe in anything beyond conventional medicine. But his life changed forever when he began using hypnotherapy to help patients uncover traumatic memories. What he discovered went far beyond childhood experiences. His patients were accessing memories from previous lifetimes, memories that held the keys to healing their current life challenges. If you feel a resonance with this spiritual wisdom, subscribe and activate those notifications. Leave a comment saying, "I'm ready to evolve spiritually and understand my soul's journey." Through decades of research and thousands of past life regression sessions, Dr. Weiss identified patterns that connected birth months to specific soul characteristics and past life experiences. He found that souls don't randomly choose when to incarnate. They select specific times that align with their karmic lessons, their soul's purpose, and the energy they need to work with in this lifetime. The concept isn't new to spiritual traditions. Ancient wisdom keepers understood that time carries different vibrations, and souls are naturally drawn to incarnate when the cosmic conditions support their growth. What makes Weiss's work revolutionary is how he documented these patterns through scientific observation, showing that birth months often correlate with specific past life themes, unresolved karma, and soul missions. But here's where it gets really interesting. Many people struggle with understanding why they face certain challenges, why they're drawn to particular places or time periods, or why they have unexplainable fears and talents. Traditional psychology can only go so deep, but when we understand our past life influences through our birth month, suddenly everything starts making sense. Let's explore what each birth month reveals about your soul's history and the lifetimes that continue to influence your current existence. Those born in January often carry the energy of leaders and pioneers from past lives. These souls frequently incarnated as rulers, military commanders, or individuals who had to make difficult decisions that affected many people. In previous lifetimes, January souls often held positions of great responsibility, sometimes making choices that created heavy karmic burdens. They might have been kings who had to wage wars for their people's survival, or spiritual leaders who sacrificed personal happiness for the greater good. January souls often struggle with authority and responsibility in this lifetime because they carry memories of the weight of leadership. They may feel an unexplained burden to fix everyone's problems or an intense fear of making the wrong decision. This stems from lifetimes where their choices had life or death consequences for others. February souls carry the vibration of healers, mystics, and those who served others in past lives. These individuals often incarnated as physicians, herbalists, shamans, or spiritual counselors in previous lifetimes. They frequently lived lives dedicated to service, sometimes sacrificing their own needs to help others heal and grow. The challenge for February souls is learning to balance their natural giving nature with healthy boundaries. In past lives, they might have given so much of themselves that they lost their own identity. In this lifetime, they're learning that self-care isn't selfish. It's essential for sustaining their healing gifts. March souls often carry warrior energy from past lives, but not in the traditional sense. These were the spiritual warriors, the revolutionaries, the ones who fought for justice and truth. They might have been activists, religious reformers, or individuals who stood up against oppressive systems, often at great personal cost. March souls frequently feel a burning desire for justice and may become frustrated when they see unfairness in the world. This intensity comes from lifetimes spent fighting for what's right, sometimes dying for their beliefs. In this lifetime, they're learning to channel that warrior energy into positive change without burning themselves out. Share in the comments an experience where you felt the presence of spiritual mentors or a profound inner transformation. April souls carry the energy of builders and creators from past lives. These individuals often incarnated as artists, architects, craftspeople, or innovators who left lasting legacies through their creative work. They might have built temples, created beautiful art, or developed new ways of doing things that benefited their communities. The gift of April souls is their natural creativity and ability to manifest their visions into reality. However, they may struggle with perfectionism or fear that their creations aren't good enough, stemming from lifetimes where their work was either celebrated or criticized intensely. May souls often carry the vibration of earth wisdom from past lives as farmers, gardeners, herbalists, or those deeply connected to nature's cycles. In previous incarnations, they understood the healing power of plants, the importance of working with natural rhythms, and the sacred relationship between humans and the earth. May souls often feel most peaceful in nature and may have an intuitive understanding of plants, animals, or natural healing. They're here to remember and share ancient earth wisdom, helping humanity reconnect with the natural world that sustains us all. June souls frequently carry the energy of communicators and teachers from past lives. They might have been storytellers, scribes, teachers, or messengers who preserved and shared important knowledge. In some lifetimes, they could have been the keepers of oral traditions or the ones responsible for passing down spiritual teachings. June souls often excel at communication and may feel drawn to writing, teaching, or sharing information. Their challenge is learning to trust their voice and share their wisdom, even when they fear criticism or rejection. July souls carry deep emotional wisdom from past lives, often having incarnated as empaths, counselors, or those who helped others through emotional healing. They might have been the wise women of villages, the compassionate listeners, or those who could see into people's hearts and help them heal. The gift of July souls is their incredible emotional intelligence and intuitive understanding of human nature. However, they may struggle with emotional boundaries, feeling everyone's pain as their own because they remember lifetimes of being the emotional healers for their communities. If this message has touched your soul, leave a like so more consciousnesses can awaken to the light. August souls often carry royal or noble energy from past lives, having incarnated as leaders who ruled with wisdom and compassion. Unlike January souls who carry the burden of difficult leadership decisions, August souls remember lifetimes of benevolent leadership where they use their power to protect and nurture their people. August souls naturally command respect and may feel comfortable in leadership roles. Their challenge is learning humility and remembering that true leadership serves others, not the ego. They're here to learn how to lead with love rather than power. September souls carry the energy of perfectionists and organizers from past lives, often having incarnated as scholars, librarians, administrators, or those responsible for maintaining order and preserving knowledge. They might have been the keepers of ancient libraries or the organizers of important spiritual or educational institutions. September souls have a natural gift for analysis and organization, but they may struggle with perfectionism and criticism of themselves and others. They're learning that progress is more important than perfection, and that sometimes chaos is necessary for growth. October souls carry the energy of diplomats and peacemakers from past lives. They often incarnated as mediators, counselors, or those who helped resolve conflicts between different groups. They might have been the bridge builders between cultures, religions, or warring factions. October souls naturally see all sides of a situation and excel at creating harmony and balance. However, they may struggle with decision-making because they can see the validity in multiple perspectives. They're learning to make choices while honoring their natural gift for creating peace. November souls carry intense transformational energy from past lives, often having incarnated as shamans, mystics, or those who worked with death and rebirth cycles. They might have been the ones who helped souls transition between worlds, or those who facilitated deep healing and transformation for others. November souls often feel drawn to mysteries, psychology, or spiritual transformation. They're natural healers who aren't afraid of the dark aspects of human experience. Their challenge is learning to transform their own shadows while helping others do the same. Send this video to someone who is seeking spiritual clarity or comfort. December, souls carry the energy of wisdom keepers and spiritual teachers from past lives. They often incarnated as philosophers, spiritual guides, or those who helped others find meaning and purpose in life. They might have been the elder teachers in spiritual communities or the ones who preserved sacred wisdom. December souls naturally possess philosophical wisdom and may feel older than their years. They often serve as teachers or guides for others, but their challenge is learning to embody the wisdom they carry rather than just sharing it intellectually. Understanding your birth month's past life connections isn't about limiting yourself to certain characteristics. It's about recognizing the gifts and challenges your soul chose to work with in this lifetime. Dr. Brian Weiss emphasizes that we incarnate with specific lessons to learn, karma to balance, and gifts to develop and share. Your past life influences, revealed through your birth month, help explain why certain situations trigger strong reactions, why you're naturally drawn to specific interests or afraid of particular things, and why some relationships feel instantly familiar while others feel challenging from the start. But here's the most important part. You're not bound by your past. Understanding these influences gives you the power to consciously work with your soul's patterns instead of being unconsciously controlled by them. If you're a January soul carrying the burden of past leadership responsibilities, you can learn to lead with less pressure on yourself. If you're a July soul who feels everyone's emotions, you can learn healthy boundaries while still honoring your empathic gifts. Write in the comments, "Today I release old patterns and embrace the light of spiritual renewal." Dr. Weiss discovered that many of our current life challenges are actually opportunities to heal and balance karma from previous incarnations. The phobias, attractions, talents, and struggles we experience aren't random. They're part of our soul's curriculum for growth in this lifetime. For example, someone born in March who feels intense anger at injustice might be healing a past life where they were powerless to stop oppression. By learning to channel that righteous anger into positive action in this lifetime, they transform the victim energy from the past into warrior energy for positive change. Similarly, a December soul who feels burdened by always being the wise one others come to for advice might be learning to balance their natural teaching gifts with receiving wisdom and support from others. The goal isn't to stop being wise, it's to learn that wisdom includes knowing when to give and when to receive. The beauty of this understanding is that it removes judgment from our experiences. Instead of seeing your challenges as flaws or failures, you can recognize them as part of your soul's intentional growth plan. Every difficulty becomes a doorway to greater understanding and healing. Dr. Weiss also found that many souls travel in groups, incarnating together repeatedly, to work out relationships and learn from each other. The people in your life, family, friends, even challenging relationships, may be souls you've known and worked with across multiple lifetimes. Understanding this can transform how you view your relationships. That instantly comfortable connection with someone you just met. You've probably known each other before. That challenging family member who pushes all your buttons. They might be a soul who agreed to help you learn patience, boundaries, or forgiveness in this lifetime. Express gratitude to the higher plane by leaving your like as a sign of connection and gratitude for this message received. The month you were born also influences the spiritual tools and practices that will be most helpful for your growth in this lifetime. January souls might benefit from meditation practices that help release the burden of responsibility, while March souls might need physical activities that help channel their warrior energy constructively. February and July souls, with their natural healing and empathic abilities, often benefit from energy protection practices and regular time in nature to cleanse themselves of others' emotions. May souls naturally gravitate toward earth-based practices like gardening, herbalism, or spending time in forests and gardens. June souls often find their spiritual path through teaching, writing, or other forms of communication that allow them to share wisdom. August souls may need to explore their relationship with power and leadership through service to others, rather than self-aggrandizement. September souls benefit from practices that help them release perfectionism and embrace the messy beauty of growth and change. October souls need to develop decision-making skills while honoring their natural gift for seeing multiple perspectives. November souls are often drawn to transformational practices like shadow work, dream analysis, or other deep psychological and spiritual exploration. December souls may find their greatest growth through mentoring others or exploring philosophical and spiritual teachings. But beyond individual healing, Dr. Weiss discovered that understanding our past life influences can help us understand our purpose in this lifetime. We didn't incarnate just to heal old karma. We're here to contribute something positive to the world's evolution. Each birth month carries not just past life influences, but also a gift that the world needs right now. January, souls bring leadership and initiative. February, souls bring healing and compassion. March, souls bring courage and justice. April, souls bring creativity and manifestation abilities. May, souls bring earth wisdom and connection to nature. June, souls bring communication and teaching abilities. July, souls bring emotional healing and intuitive wisdom. August, souls bring noble leadership and protection. September, souls bring organization, analysis, and attention to detail. October, souls bring harmony, balance, and peacemaking. November, souls bring transformation and the courage to face darkness. December, souls bring wisdom, philosophy, and spiritual guidance. Comment: I align with the purposes of good and continue firmly on my journey of elevation. The current global situation, with environmental challenges, social tensions, and spiritual awakening happening simultaneously, requires all these gifts working together. Understanding your past life influences through your birth month helps you recognize not just what you're here to heal, but what you're here to contribute. Dr. Weiss emphasizes that this knowledge is meant to empower, not limit. While your birth month provides insights into your soul's history and natural tendencies, you always have free will to make different choices and create new patterns. If past life regression reveals that you've repeatedly struggled with the same issues across multiple incarnations, this lifetime is your opportunity to finally master those lessons and break free from limiting patterns. The awareness itself is often the first step toward transformation. Some people worry that learning about past lives might make them feel trapped by ancient patterns, but the opposite is true. When you understand why you react certain ways or feel drawn to particular things, you gain the power to consciously choose your responses, rather than being unconsciously driven by old memories. For instance, if you're a November soul who learned you were executed for your spiritual beliefs in a past life, understanding this might explain your current fear of standing out or sharing your spiritual views. But with this awareness, you can work to heal that fear and find courage to share your gifts safely in this lifetime. The goal isn't to change who you are, it's to become the fullest, most healed version of who your soul came here to be. Your birth month's past life influences are like a roadmap showing you both the treasures you've brought forward from other lifetimes and the areas where healing and growth are still needed. Dr. Weiss found that when people truly understand their soul's journey across lifetimes, they develop greater compassion for themselves and others. Instead of judging yourself harshly for your fears or weaknesses, you can recognize them as natural consequences of soul experiences that made perfect sense in their original context. That fear of water that seems irrational, it might stem from a drowning in a past life. The instant talent for music that seems to come from nowhere. You might have been a musician in previous incarnations. The way you feel deeply drawn to a particular historical period or geographic location. Your soul might have lived there before. Right, I accept this spiritual guidance and move forward with courage and faith. Continue expanding your consciousness with the recommended videos. Understanding these connections doesn't diminish the mystery and magic of life, it deepens it. You begin to see yourself as an eternal being having a human experience rather than a human being having occasional spiritual moments. Your current life becomes part of a much larger story of growth, love and service that spans across time and space. This perspective can bring profound healing to difficult life experiences. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you might ask, "What is my soul learning from this experience, Magda?" Or, "How can I grow through this challenge?" The same event can be experienced as either random suffering or meaningful growth opportunity, depending on your perspective. Dr. Weiss also discovered that souls often choose to incarnate during particular time periods because they have specific contributions to make to humanity's evolution during those eras. You chose to be here now, during this time of great change and awakening, because your soul has gifts that are needed for this planetary transformation. Your birth month's past life influences aren't just about your personal healing and growth. They're about understanding your role in the larger human story that's unfolding. Every soul incarnated right now is here to help humanity evolve beyond patterns of fear, separation, and unconsciousness toward greater love, unity, and awakening. Whether you're a January soul learning to lead with love instead of force, a July soul learning to heal without losing yourself, or a December soul learning to embody wisdom rather than just teaching it, your growth contributes to the collective evolution of human consciousness. The month you were born connects you to cosmic cycles and energies that support your soul's work in this lifetime. You're not here by accident. You're here by divine appointment, carrying forward the gifts and wisdom from countless lifetimes to serve this moment in human history. As we conclude this journey through the mysteries of birth, months, and past lives, remember that this information is meant to inspire, not limit you. Your soul chose the perfect time to incarnate to support both your individual growth and your service to humanity's evolution. Take some time to reflect on how your birth month's past life influences show up in your current life. Notice the patterns, gifts, and challenges that resonate with what we've explored. Use this understanding to develop greater compassion for yourself and others, recognizing that everyone is working with their own unique set of soul experiences and lessons. Most importantly, remember that you have the power to consciously work with these influences rather than being unconsciously controlled by them. Your past lives provide the foundation, but you're the architect of your current life experience. What resonates most